So I've been selling online for a few years now, and Etsy is one of those platforms where the learning curve is super steep and difficult at first, but once you get it, it becomes super easy. When I first tried selling on Etsy, it would take me hours hunched over my laptop trying to get just one listing posted for sale. And the reason I'm telling you this is because there is hope, and it doesn't have to take much time at all. Once you understand how easy this process can be, it'll give you the confidence that you can do it for yourself. We're going over everything from opening your shop to posting your first listing for sale, and there will be timestamps below this video so you can jump around if you need to. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Opening an online store sounds like a difficult task, right? Well, it should only take you about 5 minutes. To get started with a seller account, you'll want to go to Etsy's website and scroll to the bottom of the page. And under the Sell section, I want you to click on Sell on Etsy, and then click Sell on Etsy again. You'll need to select your shop preferences, if you're selling full-time or not, and then click Continue. On this step, you can enter the name of your shop. If you don't have any shop name ideas, then you can ask ChatGPT and ask it for a list of Etsy shop name ideas related to the niche of product that you'll be selling. Now, don't overthink this, and you can always go back and change the name later. Now, the next step of opening your shop is to add your first listing, which can be really anything, even just a random photo. So for now, just make a listing so that you can open up your shop. This doesn't have to be an actual product. You'll be able to delete this later on, and nobody will ever even see it. Now, once you move on, you'll want to collect your personal tax information and credit card details so that they're able to charge you the 20-cent listing fee each time you post a new listing. I can't give you details on how you should fill your personal information out, just do it accurately according to your own situation. And after you fill out all of those personal details, your shop should be open. If you're on Etsy's homepage, then navigate to the top right corner and click on Shop Manager. Shop Manager. From the Shop Manager on the left side of the screen, you should see a Listings button. If you click on it, it'll take you to this spot where you can make a new listing by clicking on Add Listing in the top right corner. This is what you should see after you've clicked on Add Listing, and from here we're ready to move on to actually creating the listing and uploading our product. You'll have to have a digital product made and ready to sell in order to fill out all of the listing details. And if you don't have a product already, then that's okay. You could go check out all my other videos on how to create digital products. In this video, I'll show you a few different examples so that you'll still be able to follow along no matter what digital product you're selling. For the first example, I'll be selling a digital resume template. People buy these to download and fill out their own work experience, and this will be a great example product. Again, just pretend like I've already created it, even though I just stole it off Canva. This first section is to add your listing images. You probably don't want to just upload your digital product as the photo, and instead you'll want to use something called a mockup. You can find mockups on a website like Freepik, and you can download them and use them for free. Make sure that you click this PSD filter, and as you're scrolling through, as you see mockups with this crown icon, it means you need a paid subscription for those mockups. But I found this free one that I like, so I'm going to download this one. Now, I'm just selling a resume template, so all I need is a piece of paper mockup. But if you're selling something like art, then you'll want a picture frame mockup, or business cards, you'll want business card mockups. Now, with the mockup file that I downloaded, I'm gonna head over to a website called Photopea. This is a free Photoshop alternative. This website lets me drag in that file that ends in .psd in so I can edit the mockup. There's usually a section on the right side of the screen, and you'll just double click where it says your image here or the layer right below it. Now on this screen is where I can drag in an image of my resume template that I stole from Canva, or you would want to drag in an image of your digital product that you're selling. When I close out of this layer, it will update the mockup and our resume looks much better. Just go to File, Export, and pick JPG, and we'll save it somewhere easy to find. Then back in Etsy, I'll just drag and drop the image we just exported to find. Then back in Etsy, I'll just drag and drop the image we just exported onto the first image slot in Etsy. It's a good idea to crop the image so it's nice and large, and I found that adding additional photos with more product information will help reduce the amount of messages and questions that you get. But creating those product detail images is completely dependent on what kind of product you're selling, so that'll be up to you. Now, as we move down this page, you can add a video if you want, but I haven't really found it to be necessary. So next we have to edit the title. Now the title has a very large impact on the SEO of our listing. To write the best title possible, we'll want to make a search for similar products to what we're going to be selling on Etsy's marketplace. I'm going to ignore the first 4 images that are just ads, and then pick the top 4 listings from the second row. These are the listings that have ranked the highest organically. When I click on one, I'm looking at what keywords they're using in their title. This is how you come up with the best possible title. You'll look at all of the keywords that the best ranking listings use, copy them down, and then generate your own title using some of those keywords for yourself. I personally don't like using any paid keyword or SEO tools. So when we have our list of keywords, we'll just type in the title in this box and get as close to 140 characters as we can. On the About This Listing section, when they ask who made it, choose I did, what it is, a finished product, and when did you make it. If it's a custom logo or something, for example, you may choose made to order. Otherwise, it'll just be the most recent year. For the category, you'll just want to put whatever product you're selling. We can skip pretty much all of these other sections down to the renewal options. I like setting my listings to manual, and for the type of product I'm selling, today we're doing digital products. And then down here is where I'll put in the description of my product. I've never seen a big impact of the SEO from the description. So my recommendation would be to put more effort into great titles and tags, and then create a good description that you can just reuse on all of your digital products. For now, I'm just going to put the title of my product in the description. We want to skip pretty much everything else except for the tags section. Now, here's how to get the best tags for your listing. We can go back to those top listings that we just looked at for the title keywords, and at the bottom of the page, you should see this section called Explore Related Searches. Each one of these little bubbles is a different tag, so we'll want to make note of what tags the top few listings are using, and make up a combination of our own tags to use in our own resume listing. Again, make sure it's just a combination of tags from the top 4 listings that ranked organically in search. Just make sure that you don't copy anyone directly. Then when we come back to our own listing, we can type our tags out in the tag section, making sure to use all 13. I don't pay for Etsy ads because always using great title and tags ranks me high in organic search. The next section is pricing. To pick a good price, again, we'll just look at what's already working. All of the top listings are selling for around $7 to $8. Now, I always run a sale, so keep that in mind when you're pricing your product. If you're always going to be running a 50% off sale, you'll need to double the price of your product. So to sell my resume template at $7.49, I'll need to list it at $14.98 before I run a 50% off sale. Just set your quantity to $9.99, and you don't need an SKU number for a digital product. The personalization section is only used if you're selling something custom, like a custom logo, and this allows the customer to leave instructions for exactly what they want. Otherwise, just keep this set off. Congratulations if you've made it this far, because this is the final step, which is uploading your digital product. On screen, I have an example of my digital resume template in a document and a PDF. Depending on the digital product you're selling, you may have a different file type, but here are all of the file types that you're allowed to upload. These are all of the file formats that Etsy allows, and in each one of my tutorials, I show you how to prepare files into formats that are ready to upload. Since we're only allowed to upload up to 5 files, I like taking all of my digital product files and compressing them into a zip file so that we can upload them in one go. I just make a folder, and I'm going to call it Resume Files, and then I'll just add my digital products to that folder. Then I just right-click and click on Compress the folder. And now you can see I have a zip file that I can just click and drag directly into Etsy. I could also take that PDF and upload it directly to Etsy as well, without turning it into a zip file. If someone was to download the contents of the listing that I just made, this is what they would get. Now we can click on Preview the listing to see what it would look like on Etsy. If we wanted to, we could be done right here. People could buy this listing and get this resume template file download. Of course, it is really beneficial to go through and add some other listing detail images and refine your listing description to reduce the amount of questions and messages you get. And not to mention, it'll make your shop look a lot more professional. Now, in some cases, you won't be able to upload your files directly to Etsy because they'll be too large or they'll take up too much storage. This is really common if you're selling something like art. Instead of being able to upload those files directly to Etsy, we'll have to upload them to a different website, like our Google Drive or Dropbox, and then we'll put a link to those uploaded files into a PDF, and that PDF will be the downloadable file on Etsy. This way, when a customer orders that digital download, they'll get a copy of the PDF with a download link to the file that we uploaded on Google Drive or Dropbox. To do this, on Canva, go to Create and pick A1 document. Now, I just chose a pre-made layout, but you can style this however you want it to look. I just made sure to make the word download big and right in the middle of the page so that it's easy to click on. And when I double click and highlight the text, I'm able to add a link to it. So now let's upload some example art to Google Drive since it's free to use. Again, assuming your art is already prepared, I've got videos on this. You'll want to take that folder that has all of the art in it and just drag it into the Google Drive. When this file appears, I'll just click on these three little dots, and then I'm gonna click Get Link, and then I can just copy the link. Back in Canva where we just were, with that download text still highlighted, I can paste in the link and just hit enter. Then I just click on the share button in the top right, click download, and make sure that standard PDF is selected. Then I'll just save it to my computer. Open up the PDF we just created and click on the download link we added to make sure that it takes me to the Google Drive folder with those images that I uploaded. Now I can upload that art downloads PDF directly to Etsy, and if someone likes that artwork, they could buy the digital download and they would get the same PDF, and by clicking the download link, it would take them to my Google Drives folder. This is the same method you would use if you want to share a Canva template link, except instead of adding the link to the Google Drive, you would put the link to the Canva template instead. Now, inevitably, there are several concerns that will come up with this as well. For example, will people steal my artwork and try and sell it on their own? I mentioned this before, and you guys seemed to worry that if you sold a digital download link to somewhere like Google Drive, that people would share that link with other people or try and sell it themselves. But in reality, it's just a digital file, so they could email it to someone else if they really wanted to. They don't necessarily have to have the download link. Even if the product is downloaded directly from Etsy, they could still share it as much as they wanted to, and you wouldn't really have any control over that. If someone steals your artwork and tries to post it to sell somewhere else online, a lot of the times there are legal tools on those websites that you'll be able to use to deactivate their listings. If you're seriously worried about people downloading and stealing your work, then I'd just recommend selling a physical product instead. There's a lot of easy options to do that as well. Do you need to run Etsy ads? I personally don't like using Etsy ads. I've used them before and spent hundreds of dollars trying to get them to work, but I'd much rather use Etsy's organic traffic since they're already bringing millions of visitors to the website. And if I'm going to pay to run ads, then I'm just going to run ads to a Shopify store where I can sell my products on my own website. How long will it take to get sales? It can take a while to start getting traction on Etsy. It really depends how many listings you're able to post in a certain amount of time. You'll have to consistently post new listings for sale, and the more listings you post, the better the products will become and the more sales you'll get. Some of the most successful shops have hundreds of listings, so if you're serious about this, you should make that your goal.